Hello everyone! So here we are. Today we're gonna be starting some juicy side stuff of the Tsubasa category. I would like to thank everyone who helped in doing the research of what to do since I finished Umineko. At first it was a little confusing. I was like, what? What? Tsubasa? Saku? Hane? Confession? Nani? But thanks to you, I think I get the general idea and the order of this stuff. Now, before we begin with the first story though, a couple of things to say. I think it would be good to say this now, especially since this first video is more than likely going to be a short one. This first story of the letter of Bernkastel is going to be a short one, and we'll have to determine how I'm gonna edit these videos since the stories will vary drastically in length, from 10 minutes to an hour, we shall see. But yeah, before we begin, a couple of things to say. As I said, 2023 is gonna be an interesting year for me when it comes to Umineko because, well, the way I see Umineko, the visual novel that is, it is a story of finding your own answers. The visual novel is not a story that will spill out direct answers to you, in a similar way to how Hercule Poirot explains the entire mystery, the whodunit and why done it at the end. I mean, even the quote-unquote fight/debate between Claire and Will, when it comes to the murder mysteries of the first episodes and their locked rooms, even the answers that Will provided, as final as that was, left room for discussion when it comes to how things were done. Umineko is a story that gives you the answers, while at the same time, it doesn't. Like, you get what I mean, right? It's just built different. However, from what I've been told, the manga, or at least episode 8 from what I heard of the manga, it is a little bit more direct when it comes to explaining some stuff. Like, what was it called? Like, Last Note of the Golden Witch? Confession? I don't know, but basically, it is Ryukishi's way of going in and saying, hey guys, here are all my secrets, laid out on the table. You can open up the cat box if you want. And throughout 2022, I have been hesitant on reading the manga moments. I mean, I still am in some ways. Like, I know people who have read the manga, like those who have read everything, while others have decided not to. And I have heard cases of people saying that the manga, the answers provided are kind of ruining one of the stronger points of Umineko. But I guess in a way that I cannot describe well, I have kind of softened myself to the whole thing, and I have all sorts of mentalities, like all sorts of thoughts when it comes to that, and the way I feel about it now. Like, first of all, it's not gonna be me going straight to the manga and reading the stuff. Like, I would have done that by now, in January or February, or even right now, but no. The way I see it, this to me is gonna be a slow, gradual transition towards that final state. And I think this Tsubasa is gonna be a nice start. Like, I'm gonna be doing Tsubasa stuff. Okay. I'm gonna be doing individual videos on Umineko these months. I'm gonna be doing some goofy stuff in the meantime. Like, I heard of this Umineko D&D fan game that I want to do eventually. Like, Witches and Woodlets, I think it was called. And we will build ourselves towards the more extreme manga/confessions and whatchamajig. Also, I guess I feel like I already know what the main ideas are out there when it comes to what is the official answer. For example, I have theorized throughout Umineko that between Beatrice, Shannon, and Kanon, there is a strong link, to the point where they're all under the same body. And looking at what the world has to say about Beatrice, that does seem to be the general consensus. Thus, it kind of makes me think that the manga will truly show this, which I guess I'm fine with that, to some extent. I mean, you have no idea how many fan arts I have seen of Shannon in Beatrice's dress. Like, it's insane. And another thing is that I guess I can go with the mentality that Ryokishi is giving us his answers, the way he envisioned the story, while even then, we will still have our minds open to many other things. Like, you know, the whole death of the author versus authorial intent type thing, which will depend on the situation. It will be like a mix of me taking the answers the way they are. Like, okay, I'm gonna vibe with that. It is gonna be a mix between that and the thought that I can take it my way. Like, aha, but that is how you view it, Ryokishi. But I have a different spin on it, motherfucker! Next, I'm gonna prove Ryokishi and say that, no, but it sure is not Shannon or Kanon. It will be... Chef Gora! But now, on a serious note, I think that Shannon/Kanon being linked to Beatrice, it makes the most sense at this point. So if the manga is gonna tell us that that is the answer, then it's fine. But when it comes to extra details, I don't know. For example, remember back in episode 6, like, it is years after Shannon and Bella last seen each other on Rokenjima. The family are on their way back to the mansion, but then Kiria tells everyone that she got letters for everyone from Bella. And then George is the one to give everyone their own individual letters. It is a theory shared among many people that maybe George purposefully hid Bella's letter to Shannon, because George wanted to pursue Shannon without Bella's interference. However, it was never explicitly stated by the game or said in red, so it was left to the reader's interpretation, the way you guys view George, if he would do that, or the way you view Bella, if he forgot to do a letter, or he never did, or he did but it was hid by George, if it was all a misunderstanding, if Bella truly thought of Shannon, or... you guys know what I mean, right? So, if the manga were to give an answer to that... See what I mean right over here? I am a little bit hesitant, as I said, but... we will get there when we get there. We will eventually cross that bridge. So yeah, those are my thoughts. I had to pad out the length of this video some way. Am I right, everyone? Alright. Now, when it comes to Tsubasa itself, there is one thing that I want to mention right over here. Like, there are 2 short stories that I'm not gonna do, like, right now. Like, I have been told that... what is it? Like, The Witch's Tanabata Isn't Sweet and Memoirs of the Lambda Delta, they have spoilers in them. And that I should do them after Higurashi, which... it makes sense. I mean, look at the titles themselves. Which, funny enough, this first one that we'll be doing is Bernkastel related, which you guys have never said that it has like any spoilers, so I assume it is safe. Also, I have been told that there is like I can actually do these like in my own order and like in like the order of the list as it's shown right over here, but there are some like stories that not that they have to be done, but rather are recommended to be done in a specific order. Like, I think that there was something about Valentine's Day, like first I have to do a short story about the 7 stakes, and then afterwards do like a Valentine's story about Beatrice in that particular order. And I think that there was something else, but I'm gonna look at that at some point. So, yeah, let's do this. Alright, well, let's get to it. Bernkastel's letter. What could it possibly contain?
親愛なる友へ、お元気ですかというお約束的な挨拶は、今のあなたにはきっと皮肉。だから、こう聞く方がきっと親切。
I'm not used to this kind of huge text. My goodness.
まだ生きてる親愛なる友よ。
Beloved friend.
先日はお返事をありがとう。まさかあなたに未だ筆を取るだけの気力が残っていたとは驚きです。まあ、返事を書くように促したのは私なのだけれど、それでもあなたが私のために筆を取るだけの気力を奮い起こしてくれたこと自体がとても驚き。あるいは奇跡。そして貴重なる助言を本当にありがとう。私もあなたの意見に同感。多分黒幕はラムダデルタ。あの子は私に復讐するためだけに私と最も相性の悪い魔女を見つけ出し、私がおびき出されてくるのを待っていたのでしょう。まんまとあいつの罠にはまったわ
けで。Okay. Like, I assume that she is writing this to Lambda. I mean, who else could she call beloved friend? But, okay. In which case, who is this? Also, Lambda found a witch who has the worst affinity to her. Like, are we talking about Beatrice? I would assume so. Like, are they talking about Lambda and Beatrice, like, meeting up and saying, hey, I like your game. May I join the story too? And, well, we can bring in Burn too. I'm gonna lay out a nice little trap for her. And thus, Lambda lured Bernkastel into the first episodes.
なるほど。それがおかしくて、あなたは筆を取ったのかしら。あなたの意地悪な笑い顔が目に浮かぶようだわ。ただ、あなたの病気を考えると、私にとって彼女は貴重な存在かもしれない。彼女が私よりもはるかに高位の魔女であるならば、つまりそれはそれだけあなたの病気に近いということ。つまりそれこそがあなたの、いえ、私たちを蝕む病気から逃れる唯一の方法である。そして皮肉にも彼女はそれを私に教えてくれているということ。まあ、どうでもいいことかもね。でもあの子の茶番に付き合うことであなたの病気が少しでも解放に向かうのならば、どうかぜひ私に力を貸してほしいな。
I'm gonna take a wild guess and say that the disease that they're talking about is their boredom.
ラムダデルタはこのゲーム版に私は絶対に勝てないと豪語している。その時点で逆説的にルール X は判明しているの。
Rule X.
本当にバカな子ね。つまり物語が常に 6月20日から始まるようなもの。おそらくこれがベアトリーチェなる魔女の心臓部でしょう。
Wait a minute. June 20th? Is Bernkastel writing to Rika?
なるほど。だとすると、このベアトリーチェという魔女は確かに面白い。私もあの子も、そしてあなたも知らなかった世界を彼女は切り開いている。それを魔法の根源とするルール Y。 ラムダデルタも少しは触れたようだけれど、彼女の域には到底及んでいない。もしこれこそ魔法と呼ぶならば、ベアトリーチェを除き、私たちは誰一人魔女などと名乗れないに違いないの。その意味において、自らの魔法体系を組み上げた彼女は、その域は魔女をすでに凌駕して、あなたの域にまで踏み込みかけていると言えるかもしれない。もし彼女がそれを強く意識し、理解したならば、私はおろか、ラムダデルタさえも足元には及ばない。そして多分きっと、あなたと同じ病に侵されることでしょう。しかしそれにしても、実に面白い。このルール Y こそが、魔女ベアトリーチェの存在そのものではないかと見ているが。そう、ここまでは私も解析できた。そしてもう一つ、ルール Z があるのは間違いないの。
Rosie, like what are these random rules that Burn is saying here? Like, is this like a game between Bernkastel and Okay, this is confusing.
だってルール X と Y だけでは説明できない現象があまりに多数観測されているから。ルール Z の正体は不明。ラムダデルタの言動から探るに、どうもこの要素が私にとって致命的に相性が悪いものの様子。それがヒントなのだとしたら、一体何なのかしら。私はとりあえず真相から煙に巻く迷路的な存在だと仮定してみた。つまりルール X と Y に私を近づけまいとする迷路ね。私の力は100年をかけて迷路のすべての分岐を確かめて地図を書き上げるのに似ている。つまりどんなに複雑な迷路であろうとも、いつかは必ず攻略できるということ。ちなみにラムダデルタの場合だと、出口にたどり着くまで1000年をかけようとも右壁に沿って歩き続けるようなものなのかしら。いいえ、出口まで一直線に一切回り道をせず、すべての壁に穴を開けて通り抜けていくような感じね。そんな私と相性の悪い迷路とは一体何？考えつくのは一つしかない。つまり地図を書いていくことが意味のない迷路。例えばぐにゃぐにゃと常に形を変える不定形の迷路とでも言えばいいのか。なるほど。この概念ならラムダデルタの言うじゃんけんでも説明できるかもしれない。私の力でも攻略できない迷路でも、壁をすべて貫いてゴールに迎える彼女には全く障害ではないわけだし。
She just basically activates like a giant drill and just goes straight forward through the maze, just like that.
概念では理解できるの。でもルールとして捉えようとすると全く理解ができない。だってルールとは本来不変なものでしょ。不定形なるものがルールであるなんて私の知る常識を超えている。固体でなければならないのに液体のような一面を持つなんてまるで水銀ね。水銀はラテン語で生きた銀、そして不老不死に通じると信じられ、錬金術師たちの研究対象として珍重された。皮肉ね。つまりはまさに彼女の自称する魔女や錬金術につながるということ。このルール Z が解けない限り、いいえ、解けないからこそベアトリーチェはまさに魔女であるということ。ああ、ここまで書いていて腹立たしくなってきたわ。あなたはここまでを読んで絶対に笑っているわ。ええ、かけてもいい。そろそろ私の困り顔を見てさらに嘲笑ってやりたくなってきた頃でしょ。近いうちにあなたのところへお見舞いに行くわ。見舞いの品は私。好きなだけあざけり笑うといい。好きでしょ、そういうのは。だから久しぶりの友人を迎えるためにどうか生き返ってちょうだい。まだ親愛であると信じているあなたの友人ベルンカステルより。
Love is an illusion, a misunderstanding. Mutual love is a mutual misunderstanding of being mutually loved. An engagement is a vow to never wake up from that misunderstanding. I don't know it. Many things were found in your room. From that evidence, it is possible to infer that you love me. Many things were found in my room. From that evidence, it is possible to infer that I love you. Oh, nothing was found in her room. However, the possible existence of undiscovered evidence X of unfaithfulness cannot be denied. Bernkastel. Huh. Alright, well, stating the obvious here, this sure makes me think of Ariakey. Although it was signed as Bernkastel. You know, I did start the story of Higurashi recently, and I learned that Bernkastel is quite a poet herself. She wrote that little poem at the beginning, and I guess this is another one. Well, you definitely can see Erika's whole story, like with the ex-boyfriend having a bit of Burns' influence. Or similarity between the two. Like, I wonder if that particular poem that I've seen right over here that references Ariakey, I wonder if I'm gonna see that again in Higurashi. But yeah, like, what can I even say about this letter? It's... like, it's beyond comprehension at this point in time. Like, yes, Bern talks about Beatrice and trying to understand her and all, but besides that, I feel like this is another case of Bernkastel slash Lambda Delta exclusive backstory that I have yet to go through. It could be that she's writing this to Rika, because other than that, I have no clue who she's writing this to. Like the only other person that I can think of is Hachijo Ikuko, like Federin, Rose X Y Z Mazes, Ronoe. I don't know. This feels like something that I'll have to come back to, like much later.